Hey Falcons fans! Big news for the Falcons as they head into Sunday's matchup against the Denver Broncos. Before we get started with today's jam-packed update, be sure to hit that like button and subscribe so you never miss out on the latest news and inside scoop on our team. Trust me, you won't want to miss what we have in store for you today. Quarterback Kirk Cousins and receiver Darnell Mooney will be ready to play, but there's one catch: they're both not healthy. When Atlanta's injury report first came out after Wednesday's walk-off, it raised a few eyebrows. Cousins was listed with right elbow and shoulder injuries, while Mooney was surprisingly added on Thursday with an Achilles tendon issue. That certainly got everyone talking. There is some good news, though. Both players participated fully in Friday's practice, meaning they're cleared to play. Coach Raheem Morris addressed the concerns and reassured fans that Cousins and Mooney are simply dealing with what he called the natural soreness of the grind of the NFL season. Still, that soreness has become a storyline to watch as we get deeper into the season. Cousins himself weighed in earlier this week, expressing a desire to strengthen his connection with Mooney. "I come away from the first 10 games and say, I wish we could have done more. I wish he could have done more. I could have helped him be more productive," Cousins said. He praised Mooney's efforts thus far, but emphasized that there is still untapped potential. "I love what he's done for us, but there's still more to come," Cousins added. And Mooney has delivered. So far this season, he's caught 46 passes for 684 yards and 5 touchdowns, a solid addition to Atlanta's offense. Cousins, meanwhile, has been putting up impressive numbers, completing 68.2% of his passes for 2,634 yards and 17 touchdowns. Now, here's where things get a little complicated. The Falcons' injury list is long and concerning, and I mean very long. We're talking about 18 players listed after Thursday's practice. 8 of those players are officially out for Sunday, including some crucial names, particularly in the secondary. Starting cornerback Mike Hughes, neck; starting nickel D. Alford, hamstring; and backup nickel Antonio Hamilton Sr., pectoral, will all miss the game. That leaves the secondary dangerously thin, which is a big challenge against a Broncos team that has shown flashes of explosive playmaking. Adding to the absences are defensive tackle Taquan Graham, defensive end James Smith-Williams, tight end Charlie Warner, linebacker Troy Anderson, and linebacker J.D. Bertrand. Anderson, who practiced on a limited basis on Friday, has been in and out of the lineup due to knee issues and aggravated his injury during last week's battle with the Saints. Despite that, it's not all doom and gloom. There have been some positive developments on the injury front, with Drake London, hip, Chris Lindstrom, knee, and Darnell Mooney all cleared to play. And let's not forget, starting center Drew Dalman will make his long-awaited return after being on injured reserve since Week 3. Dalman's absence has been notable, and while Ryan Newsel has done a commendable job filling in, having Dalman back is a huge boost for the offensive line. Dalman's progress was highlighted by Atlanta's decision to release backup center Matt Hennessy on Thursday, signaling confidence in his return. So, Falcons fans, what does all this mean for Sunday? The Falcons head to Denver to take on the Broncos in what is shaping up to be a battle of resilience and depth. Will Atlanta's offense, led by Kirk Cousins and Darnell Mooney, who are not 100%, be enough to overcome a depleted secondary and a long list of injuries? The Falcons have some interesting storylines heading into the game against the Broncos this Sunday. One of the biggest laughs this week? It came from none other than safety Jesse Bates. When asked about Broncos rookie QB Bo Nix, Bates couldn't resist poking a bit of fun at how long Nix played college ball. He joked, "We've been watching him in college for the past 10 years. Classic." But on a more serious note, Bates is ready to take on Nix, despite the limited NFL tape available. He made it clear that the Falcons have analyzed Nix's strengths and weaknesses thoroughly. Bates himself is no stranger to making big plays. He's already notched 2 interceptions and 60 tackles this season. With experience and a sharp football IQ, expect Bates to be all over the field come Sunday. On the other side, let's talk about the young gun himself, Bo Nix. He's had a decent start to his rookie year, completing 64% of his passes for nearly 2,000 yards, 10 touchdowns, and 6 interceptions. The Falcons coaching staff looked closely at Nix leading up to the draft, and there's mutual respect on both sides. Head coach Raheem Morris and offensive coordinator Zach Robinson praised his work ethic, arm strength, and mobility. Nix is a dual threat, and while he's shown flashes of brilliance, facing our defense will be a big test for him. Now, shifting gears a bit to another major talking point, the Falcons' offensive firepower. It starts with the dynamic duo of Darnell Mooney and Kirk Cousins. Through 10 games, Mooney has been a revelation, ranking 6th in the league with 684 receiving yards and 8 touchdowns. He's formed an incredible connection with Cousins, who's throwing for over 2,600 yards and 17 touchdowns this season. These two have put the league on notice, and their chemistry is only getting stronger. Mooney's journey to Atlanta has been a story of perseverance. After a solid start to his career with the Bears, he hit some rough patches due to inconsistent quarterback play. But here in Atlanta, he's thriving alongside Cousins. The work they've put in off the field, from running extra routes after practice to bonding as locker room neighbors, is paying huge dividends on game day. Mooney's speed, route running precision, and playmaking ability have made him a go-to option in critical situations. On 3rd and 4th downs, he's one of the best in the league, with 16 catches and 225 yards, converting 15 plays into first downs. But it's not just Mooney shining in this offense. Let's not forget Drake London, who's also having a career year. Together, they formed one of the league's most formidable receiving duos. Offensive coordinator Zach Robinson put it best, saying, "Both guys are smart, unselfish, and complement each other perfectly." The Falcons' ability to deploy both Mooney and London in various ways has been a nightmare for opposing defenses. Of course, we can't talk about the Falcons' offense without mentioning the backfield. Robinson and Tyler Allgeier have been tearing it up on the ground. Robinson, the 8th overall pick in last year's draft, is proving why he was worth every bit of hype. He's already surpassed 1,000 scrimmage yards this season, becoming the first Falcons RB to do so in the first 10 games since Devonta Freeman in 2015. His ability to affect both the run and pass game makes him a unique weapon. He's got speed, power, and vision, and he's even stepped up in pass protection to help keep Kirk Cousins upright. Robinson's stats speak for themselves. He's the 5th leading rusher in the NFL and has the 3rd most receptions among running backs. The numbers show his impact, but watching him in action is even more impressive. He makes defenders miss, breaks tackles, and consistently moves the chains. Falcons fans, we're witnessing something special. But let's not get too comfortable. The Broncos are a .500 team, but they're hungry. This game won't be a walk in the park. Our defense will need to step up, especially with a few key players nursing injuries. The Falcons' secondary is a bit thin with Mike Hughes and D. Alford out, among others. But the team has shown resilience all season, and they'll need to dig deep once again. All right, Falcons family, that's it for today's breakdown. What do you think about our matchup against the Broncos? Will Jesse Bates give Bo Nix a rude welcome to the league? Can Cousins and Mooney keep their winning streak going? What about Robinson? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. As always, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications. Go Falcons!